This is a piece of the Veda mantra from Atharva Veda 5.13.4. 5.13.4. Ahe Mriyaswa. Ahe Mriyaswa. Ma Jivihi. Ma Jivihi. Ahe Mriyaswa. Ma Jivihi. Ahe Mriyaswa. Ma Jivihi. Now, some of the pieces of Veda mantras like this will mislead those who are not used to Vedic style. If you understand how the Vedic style is and how they express things, how they reveal themselves, it is not known to people. Then sentences like this will totally mislead them, and they throw all aspersions on Vedas, saying that it has got black magic, this and that. Unfortunate. When you study this whole mantra, you'll be able to understand it. Ahe. Now the misleading angle I'm telling now. Ahe. Ahe means a snake. Ahe. O snake. Mriyaswa. Mring pranatyage. You die. O snake, you are not fit to live, you die. Ma jivihi, don't live. Don't live, you die. Jiva pranadharane. That's the root. Ahe Mriyaswa Ma Jivihi. 5.13.4. Now the meaning of the word ahi here is sarpa, snake. So now the meaning of this whole sentence is, O snake, you are not fit to live, I wish your death. Ahi means sarpa in the colloquial Sanskrit. So when you attach this meaning, this colloquial meaning of the word ahi to this word, this is a meaning what you get finally. O snake, O sarpa, you are unfit to live, you die. Now you tell me. We have seen so many Veda mantras, we have studied so many things. Can a person who studies Veda wish for death of anyone? Can they wish? Never, never. Whether they are good or bad is immaterial. A person who is into Vedic studies, a person who has got those human values implanted in him, that person will always wish for the well-being of all. I repeat, all. Irrespective of whether they are good or bad. We wish the well-being of every creature on earth. We respect the right of every living being to live. That's the basic lesson we learn when we study Vedas. Now, how will this sentence fit in there? Now, if they are not able to understand the basic principle of the Vedas of friendly nature, of Maitri Bhavana, there is all the possibility of misinterpreting the sentence. And that has happened. That has happened, and it is happening even today. Okay, looking at it from another angle. Snake has got its own role to play in the ecology. It's created by the same God. As far as human beings are concerned, maybe some of the snakes which are poisonous may be harmful to them. But every snake has got its own role to play in nature. It's not something unwanted. It's not something useless. Biological cycle is there. The prey and the predator. So in that cycle, it has got a role to play. And not that all snakes are poisonous. And from the point of view of pharmacology and medicine, even the poison of a snake can work as a medicine, provided it is taken in proper doses. It's also useful. Now, considering all these things, understanding the sentence as, "Oh snake, you are unfit to live, you die," seems very, very immature and inhuman. Immature and inhuman. That's got its own role to play. It has got its own uses. Even in human life, in the medical field. They collect venom. They collect venom, and that venom is converted into certain medicines, and in small doses it works. And I can wish for his death. The very concept of wishing for the death of another living being itself is crooked, is inhuman. It can never happen. Another very important thing, even if it is a snake, it will not harm anyone unless it is under threat. That's also a very important thing. Not just a snake, any animal for that matter. Except human beings. Human beings are so hopeless that they trouble others even without reason. Even if they are not under threat, even for just enjoying, they create problems for others. There's a word for that, Vighna Santoshi. Vighna Santoshi. Sadistic. It's a peculiar feature of human beings. No other creature, no other animal does it. They live friendly, they live with cooperation. Unless they are under threat, they will not attack anyone. Number one. Unless they are hungry, they will not jump over their prey. It's a wonderful rule what the animal world follows even today, anywhere. If a lion is not hungry and just relaxing, closer to it, a deer can eat the grass without fear. It need not foresee any harm because its belly is full and is relaxing, fine. It's not under threat. The deer is not under threat. The deer is under threat only when the lion is hungry and gets up to hunt. Then it has to run away. Unless it is hungry, it will not harm anyone. Even a snake for that matter, unless we step on it or unless we create an environment, knowingly or unknowingly, which threatens its life, yes, it wants to protect itself and fights, bites, whatever it is. But for that, even if it is there, at a distance, if I stay calm and quiet, it will just go away and it will not have the intention to fight with me, intention to bite me. It is not threatened. This rule is perfect in the animal world. And how to understand this sentence? Oh snake, you are unfit to live, you die. See, that very view of asking or wishing for the death of another creature itself is inhuman, is anti-Vedic. But these basic things are not understood. Yes, these sentences like this will be misinterpreted and a lot of aspersions are thrown on the Vedas. Saying that Vedas say die, Vedas say kill, Vedas say something. Very unfortunate. Now, what is the way out? I have given a clue about this earlier. Any Veda mantra has to be understood depending upon the context at three levels. Adhi Bhautika level, Adhi Daivika level, and Adhyatmika level. Adhi Bhautika level, as the physical level, Adhi Daivika level, exact word I'm not getting, at the level of the energy, Adhyatmika level at the spiritual level. Some of the mantras or some pieces of the Veda mantras can be understood at all the three levels. Some in one or two. So this is the way how we have to understand the Veda mantras, and these three dimensions are there in Veda mantras. All the three, anyone or any two, it depends upon the context. So a person, a Vedic scholar, a person who is studying Vedas, he is aware of these three levels, then things of this sort can be easily cleared, can be understood very clearly and easily, without contradicting the basic concept of the Vedic principle. That is love, cooperation, friendship, Maitri Bhavana. That's the core of the whole Vedic study. Now this particular Veda mantra, meaning, "O snake, you are unfit to live, you die," is at the Adhi Bhautika level. And it is not right. So this mantra doesn't have this dimension at all. If you understand it as it is on the face of it, the Adi Bhautika level will be misled. That's what I was explaining so far. So this particular piece of the Veda mantra doesn't have the Adi Bhautika dimension. It doesn't have. So understanding Ahi as a snake, you die, you don't live, you are unfit to live, all these things are totally out of frame, out of focus. It's not there. Now here, the dimension what we have to apply is the Adhyatmika dimension. Then things will be very clear. Because love and let live is a basic principle of Veda that we should not forget. So the way we understand this piece of the Veda mantra, or what it is telling, we have to understand, keeping in mind that particular base of live and let live, love and let love. Then how to understand is Ahi? That's a crucial word here. Ahi. Hani himsa gatyoho. Hani himsa gatyoho. That's the basic root. Generally, when we derive words from this Hani himsa gatyoho, most of the time the emphasis is given on the himsa part. And most of the time we forget that gati part. But Han, the root has got both the meanings, himsa and gati. And when I say gati, it is movement, knowledge, and prapti. Jnana, chalana, prapti. All the three meanings are in that gati. Himsa is very clear. Now, the sarpa, or the snake, is called as Ahi because of both himsa and gati. Himsa, it is dangerous. Not by itself, that I made it clear. Not by itself is dangerous. When it is threatened, it is really dangerous. So because of that, that sarpa is called as Ahi. And the other reason why it is called as Ahi is because of its gati. Its gati is peculiar. The snake will never move straight. The way it moves is crooked, like this and this and this and this. That's how it goes. So by looking at that peculiar way of its movement, which is cricket, it is called ahi. So the basic thing here is the peculiar movement. That himsa part is gone. That himsa part is there only when it is threatened. Otherwise, it is a good friend. It will never harm us. That cricket nature, that a peculiar way of its movement, has given that name, ahi. Gati is there. Okay, now moving away from this adhibhautika dimension, if we come to the adhyatmika dimension, whatever is cricket is considered as ahi. It need not be a sarpa. I think I'm clear here. Whatever is cricket in its moment, that is called as ahi. It need not be a sarpa. Sarpa is okay. Sarpa is okay. But at the adhibhautika level. But at the adhyatmika level, anything that is cricket is ahi. That's the peculiar nature of its moment. Now it's very clear. The whole mantra is solved now. All the cricket mentalities, where we are not straightforward, we think in a cricket manner. The way we think in a cricket manner, that is ahi. Now is it useful for human beings? Never. So it's not fit to be taken in. It is fit to be thrown out. Ma jivihi priyasva. Wonderful. Now everything fits in. I have got a lot of cricket nature. We have. It's our weakness. It's because of our samskaras. This cricket way of looking at things, we never think straight. Not always. Many a time, we are not able to face things straight. We are not able to express ourselves frankly. We find one or the other crossroad. You want to look at things in a cricket way because you are not bold enough to face it straight. It's a weakness. But as long as this weakness is in us, we are in trouble. We have to develop that attitude of being transparent, being honest, being straightforward, and no crookedness. We love everyone. We wish for the welfare of everyone. Yes, you would have done some problems. You would have created some problems. You would have been the cause for some problems. Fine. We shall accept it. That is straightforward nature. That's transparency. We'll accept it. Let me not try to slip away from it. Let me not try to escape from reality. If I'm responsible, I'll say I'm responsible. I have done something wrong. Yes, I've done the wrong. Accept it. The human nature which deals with things straightforward is the right human nature. Otherwise, it's crookedness. Telling a lie is crooked. Speaking truth is straightforward. Wishing for the welfare of all is straightforward. Roosting hatred is crooked. Being honest is straightforward. Non-violence is straightforward. Violence is crooked. It's not beneficial to us. When I say beneficial to us, the thing that is in focus is the soul. It's not beneficial to the soul. It pulls it down. And the purpose of human life, we have been repeatedly discussing, is the emancipation of the soul, the progress of the soul, the upliftment of the soul. It's possible only in human life. That's our goal ultimately. So anything that pulls down is called as crooked. And that's of no use. So we fight against crookedness. We don't want to give place to that crookedness even in the darkest corner of our hearts. No, we are not giving. There should not be a dark spot at all in our hearts. It should be full of light, jyoti, dyuti. And what is that jyoti or dyuti in the heart? That's nothing but knowledge. A person who has got knowledge will love everyone, will not hate anyone. will not wish for the death of anyone, harm of anyone, because they see their own reflection in every other creature. That's human. That's human nature. That's nobility, whatever you call it. Now, wishing for somebody's death, wishing for somebody's harm, first spoils my inner self. Then it harms others, if at all it's possible. But I will be the first victim of my own cricket nature. It's very dangerous. We have been calling it as our internal enemy. It's an internal enemy. Cricket nature is our own internal enemy. It first destroys us and then others. The first victim will be we ourselves. Now, is it right? Let us think twice. Let us think 100 times. Now understand, no, we shall not have any such cricket nature in us. We shall search and see that if at all there is that cricket nature in us and any circumstance, we'll throw it out. So what is the word used here? Mriyaswa. You are not allowed here. You are sent out. You are kicked out. You die. Now what is it we are wishing for the death? Not for a person, not for another creature, but the bad quality, but the cricket nature. And the cricket nature is referred to here as a hay. It's not a snake. It's not a snake. Oh, cricket nature, you have no place in my heart. Ma jivihi, you will not live in my heart. I will not give you a place for you to live in me. You die, you get out, you get lost. You see, now this way of understanding at the spiritual level exactly fits into the basic philosophy of the Vedas, basic outlook of the Vedas, the very core and essence of the Vedas. How it fits in. So this piece of the Veda mantra should be understood at the spiritual level, in the spiritual dimension, spiritual framework, and not the physical one. If you understand it at the physical level, the whole thing becomes topsy-turvy. And the whole essence of it is lost. And there will be all the scope for someone to understand the Veda mantra in the most wrong way. Ahe is a cricket nature. I will not allow you, I will not give you shelter in my heart. Mriyasva, you get lost. Now here, death is not the physical meaning. It doesn't carry the physical meaning, but it says you have no place. So a thing has no place, it's as good as death. Why? Because you are not fit to live. Our cricket nature has no place. We are not supposed to give a place for it. And by doing so, yes, we will be protecting our inner self, we will be protecting the soul, and that will be the cause for its progress. Ahe, Mriyaswa, Ma Jivihi. Now this whole thing becomes so powerful and it cleanses our heart. The only thing what we have to do is look at it from the spiritual dimension, not the physical dimension. In the physical dimension, we are not supposed to think bad of any other creature because every creature has got its own role to play in the whole ecology. In the universe, everything has got its own role to play. We are not supposed to judge whether it's fit to live or not fit to live. We are not the judges. We are not. We are also part of this whole ecology. We are also part of this whole universe. We have to look into our responsibility and our duties and our role, and have to play our role well. We are not supposed to comment or hinder the role of any other creature. That is coexistence. That is fellowship. And only when every creature, in particular the human beings, if they recognize this quality, if they recognize this responsibility, if they recognize their role, where is world peace? It's on your hand, it's on your palm. You not work for it, we not search for it. It automatically be on our palm. The whole world can be peaceful. The whole world can be a wonderful place to live in. And the whole world can be called as a heaven. We need not search for heaven after death, as Puranas say. No. It's there, now, here. It's that love, it's that live and let live is what is important. When there is a basic guidance given by the Vedas, we are not supposed to misunderstand or misinterpret sentences like this. When there is a lot of clear meaning based on the Vedangas, that's what I've been stressing. We have to understand the Veda mantras in the light of Vedangas and not in the light of the colloquial local Sanskrit. No. Vedangas, we go by the roots, and on the basis of the roots, we understand it. The basic philosophy we have to keep in mind always. You should not miss the focus. Ahe, Mriyaswa, Ma Jivihi. Now it's very clear. We are addressing the cricket nature in us, the cricket nature of samskaras. We go in, we introspect and find out such things and say, you are not fit to be in me. I will not help you. I will not leave you here. Please get out. By throwing out such cricket nature, my heart becomes pure. My heart becomes strong. When I say heart, I mean the soul, not the physical heart. The soul becomes stronger. The soul becomes purer. And other things are very easy to understand. Only when a strong and pure soul can experience bliss, and that is our ultimate goal of every Jivatma, of every Satchit. Whether they know it or not, whether they want it or not, whether they like it or not, that is the goal ultimately. If you have to move towards that goal, crookedness has no place. Crookedness cannot live in the heart, in the soul. It has to die. That means it has to get out. That's the meaning of this. Very simple, very beautiful. How I could understand this? Because I was looking at it through the Vedangas. Through the Vedangas, he was trying to understand the Veda mantras. I get the right and perfect meanings of it. No contradictions. We fail to understand it through the Vedangas, but if you look at it through other glasses, like Sanskrit and other things, yes, there's all the possibility of understanding it wrongly, implementing it wrongly. So let us be very, very careful about that. This one such example. Next. Yaschakara. Yaschakara. Tamijjahi. Yaschakara. Tamijjahi. Yaschakara. Tamijjahi. 5.14.9. Yaschakara. Tamijjahi. Yaha chakara. Yaha chakara. Tam it jahi. Tam it jahi. Yes chakara tamijjahi. Chakara, Dukri Karane. Dukri Karane. That's the root. You have heard it elsewhere? Dukri Karane. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. Prapte Sanihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati, Dukri Karane. So there he means just memorizing it, just repeating it without understanding what it is of no use. Apply your mind and think of Satchidananda. That's what he means. Dukri Karani is okay, but just repeating it without application, without knowing what it is of no use. So Dukri Karani is one example he has taken. Any stotra, any bhajan or anything, any Veda mantra, if you just repeat it mechanically, it's of no use. You have to go deep into it and understand it. Okay, Dukri Karane, Chakara. Tam it Jahi. Again, the Jahi is Hanahimsa Gatyoho. Hanahimsa Gatyoho. Yaha Chakara, who does something. Yaha Chakara, who does something. Tamijjahi. In the same way, you punish him, torment him, torture him. That's on the face of it. Jahi Himsa. Hanahimsa Gatyoho. Himsa is also there, Gati is also there, that I have been telling. Let's analyze it. But generally, most of the time, they speak of Himsa. So on the face of it, what appears, if a person does something, punish him the same way. That's what it appears on the face of it in the background of our knowledge of Sanskrit. Now I have to go back to the Vedic way of understanding it. Then things will become very, very clear. We know that there is a system which is working in the universe that is of reason and result, cause and effect. It's there everywhere. So when you're speaking of this cause and effect, whatever you do, accordingly will be rewarded or punished. The system is there. So saying, let the reward or punishment be in accordance with what they do, it is definitely not addressed to Satchidananda, because the system what has established automatically takes care of it. He is the most just force. Satchidananda is very just. That's why it is called as Aryama. Aryama is the word what we use. Aryama is the one who is very just. Very clear. The law established by that Aryama is impartial, balanced, perfect. So this is not referred to that. So we are not looking at this piece of the Veda mantra from the spiritual angle. Adhyatmika angle is not there. Because it's always perfect. Whatever we do, the result is assured equally, good or bad, depending upon what we do. This system of justice is without any flaw, because it is established by that omniscient Satchidananda. Na kilbishamatra. That's one of the pieces of the Veda mantra. Na kilbishamatra. Kilbisham is flaw. Na kilbishamatra. In this justice giving system of the Satchidananda, na kilbisham, there is no flaw whatsoever. It's perfect. 100% perfect. So, this sentence is not addressed to Satchidananda. It's very clear. It is also not addressed to any material because it is Sat. It doesn't have the Chit. So it is very well referred to such Chits. Among such Chits, who is authorized to punish or give reward is the leader, is the king. So this Veda mantra is referred to a leader, a Nayaka, a king, or a ruler. Or maybe in democracy like what we have, it could be the president. President is not one single person who takes a decision, it is a cabinet, a group of ministers, Mandali. That Mandali you can consider now, and this mantra is addressed to that Mandali. Of course, the ultimate system of law, rules and regulations is set up by the Sachidananda. Within that framework, we need to establish so many rules and regulations for our well-being. We have got our own role to play. In particular, the rulers, in particular, the people who guide, in particular, those who are the rule makers, legislature. That's addressed to them. Whenever you are framing rules, let your rules be impartial. The reward or the punishment, let it be equal to whatever they have done. If it's a heinous crime, punishment is more. If it's a small crime, there is a small punishment. If it's a wonderful work, highest reward. If it's a small good work, yes, give them the reward accordingly. So there should be a balance between what we do and what we get, good or bad, right or wrong. It's a system of establishing rewards and punishments. One should be rewarded for good what they have done, according to what they have done and how it spreads. If the goodness what they give, what they show is spreading to a small area, the reward is less. If it is spreading for the whole humanity, yes, the reward given is more. Same way punishment. It is a small crime, it's a small mistake, punish them lightly. If it's a grievous mistake, give a serious punishment. Everything is fine. But one point we have to understand very clearly. Yes, chakara tamijje. Let the punishment or reward be, here in particular, the punishment be in accordance with what mistake they have done, what wrong they have done. Now, how do you understand punishment? This is a very, very important thing. Punishment we understand as harming the person, beating them, leaving them alone, ultimately capital punishment, to hang them or shoot them or put them on the electric chair. So that's a punishment what thing, and there is a highest punishment what it can be. The way we are looking at punishment is with this outlook, with this perspective. But the basic meaning of the word punishment is totally different. The word what we use for that punishment is shiksha. Shiksha. Now it's very interesting to know that the word shiksha and the word shikshana, both they come from the same root. That is shiksha vidyopadane. Shiksha vidyopadane. Vidya is knowledge. Upadana to give. Because there is that process of giving knowledge, it is called as shiksha, it is called as shikshana. Education. Punishment is not harming the person. I repeat, punishment is not inflicting harm on the other person, but punishment ultimately means educating them and making them understand, oh, what I had done was wrong, I should have done like this. That realization is ultimately the real punishment, is the real shiksha. You see, this is a very, very humane way of looking at things. Why a person commits crime? Why a person commits something wrong? It is very clear because they don't know what is right and wrong. They just work on their instincts, not on knowledge. It's okay to work on instincts with reference to animals, fine. They restrict themselves to work on instincts. But human beings can always transcend that animal nature. They can think, they can analyze, they can understand, they can foresee. And upon that, they can act. When that special feature, when that special capability is endowed to human beings, they have to apply it. Now, those who fail to apply it, yes, they commit crime. They commit mistakes. They commit wrongs. They commit blunders. It is a lack of knowledge. It's a lack of distinguishing between, discriminating between what is right and wrong, good and bad, is a cause for a person committing a crime, committing a wrong thing, doing a wrong act. The whole root is, the whole cause is in not understanding what is right, what is wrong. We call it as immature. We call it as uneducated. A person who is educated, a person who is matured, can look at things in the right way and can distinguish between what is right and wrong. A person who is capable of distinguishing, discriminating between right and wrong will never commit a mistake. So where is the whole problem? The whole problem is in understanding things, in knowing things rightly or knowing things wrongly. And what is education? Education is making a person to visualize what is right, what is wrong. That is real education. It's not something we get in universities. It's not something in certificates. It's not something which is in marks cards. No. Education is understanding life in the right perspective, knowing what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad. And once again, I stress this understanding of good and bad is not subjective. It's not dependent on our views. It is very much objective. Objectively, we have to understand the meaning of good and bad, right and wrong, to be done and not to be done. And that is real education. If that real education is given, then a person who is a culprit will transform himself into a gentleman. What makes it is education. That is called as shiksha vidyopadane. That's what called as shiksha. Punishment. So the way we look at punishment itself is totally different. It's not in the present day context. It's not in the eyes of the present day law. The present day law doesn't look at shiksha in this way, punishment in this way. They want to harm. They want to inflict pain on that person. But inflicting pain will not make them realize what is truth. It is education what is required. It is knowledge what is required. Of course, to educate them, I may use some methods which will inflict pain. That's okay. Sama, Dana, Veda, Danda. Danda also I may use. It's not I'm not using Danda. But the purpose of using Danda is not causing pain. The purpose of using Danda, the purpose of giving that little pain is to make that person realize what is truth. There are some hardcore people. They will not understand easily. So a little pain has to be inflicted so that they ultimately understand what is reality. The purpose is totally different. Purpose is not to harm them. Purpose is not to trouble them. Purpose is not to cause pain to them. Ultimate purpose is to make them realize what is truth, realize what is good. Not only for them and as well as for the whole universe. That is real education. That is real punishment. Shiksha vidyopadane. That's a basic root. Every prison should not become a place for torture. Every prison should be a university, should be a school, should be a transforming center, where the people who get in will get themselves transformed and come out as gentlemen and gentle ladies. That's a prison. When they're left for themselves, they may get educated or not because they're free. But in a controlled environment, there's a prison. We keep them strictly and educate them and make them understand it. That's the real transformation. Now, once they're transformed, they are no more criminals. They are no more culprits. They are gentlemen. Yes, they are welcome into this society. And this is what should happen. This is what should happen. Whenever a culprit is caught and put in prison, put in jail, what should happen is, by the time they come out of the jail, maybe after 10 days, maybe after 10 years, that doesn't matter. But by the time they come out of the jail, they should become perfect gentlemen. They should become perfect human beings. Then the purpose of jail, then the purpose of punishment, the purpose of the prison is really achieved. That should be goal. But what happens today? They get into the prison, serve the term, maybe 6 months or 1 year, and when they come out, they say, I was a bit careless while getting in, I'll be more careful and commit the same crime. I learned a lesson. How I should not get caught. This is the way they think. Then what's the purpose of prison? What is the purpose of the term they serve in the jail? Useless, meaningless. Yes, we commit mistakes, knowingly or unknowingly. We are caught, we are sent to prison. But by the time we come out, we should have realized what we have done and what we should not have done. That is shiksha. That is punishment. That's how the Vedas look at it. Vedas are interested in transforming culprits and people who commit wrong into good and useful citizens of the world. The way they look at the culprits, the way they want to educate them and bring them into the mainstream is very, very important. Am I imagining? Am I creating things? No, we have seen that Veda mantra. Uta deva avahitan deva, deva unnayatha punaha, utaga shakrishan deva, deva jivayatha punaha. I have to study this piece of the Veda mantra, keeping that mantra in the base, that mantra also in focus. What it says, there are people who have fallen down for so many reasons. But it shall be your responsibility, oh people of knowledge, Deva, to give a helping hand and help them to stand up. Unnayatha punaha, take them ahead. It's your responsibility. And those, agaha, chakrisham, those who have done sins, those who are sinners, those who have committed something wrong, those who have committed crimes. Now those people are like living corpses. They are not really enjoying life. This is a wonderful life they have enjoyed, but unfortunately they have committed crime and they are in suffering. They want to escape the hands of law. They are in tension, they are in anxiety always. Now, please fill life into their life. Please blow life into their life. Please blow happiness into their life. Jiva yatha punaha. See that they live again. They are not really living. Mere breathing is not living. Enjoying life is real living. They have got a great scope to enjoy life. They have got a great scope to be peaceful and happy. And because of their own mistakes, because of their own folly, because of their own problems, they themselves have lost it. Now it shall be your duty, oh people who are noble, to pump in life into their life. Pump in that happiness, that comfort in their life. How? Make them understand what they are doing. Make them understand the way they are living, the way they are tackling with things will spoil them. Educate them. Give them all the knowledge. And let them tread the right track. And once they tread the right track, yes, they'll be able to enjoy the life. That is making them live again. Jiva yatha punaha, again. See, such instructions are there in many, many places in the Vedas. In the light of that, I have to understand this punishment. Now, who has to take care of it? In the Adhidaivika level, this is referred to a leader, the legislature, a Nayaka. Now that you have to establish certain rules and regulations for a smooth functioning of the society. Of course, the ultimate rules and regulations are there, God given. I got law in the two levels. One is the law made by Satchidananda. Fine, ultimate. We cannot transgress it. We have got another setup where the law is made by the human beings. Human made law. Manushya Krita Nyaya. Daiva Krita Nyaya. Daiva Krita Nyaya is flawless. Manushya Krita Nyaya also should be closer to it. We are not omniscient, but still we should follow the ultimate framework, the bigger framework, and frame the laws and rules and regulations in accordance with that. And see that it also functions as well as it could. Now, who is the person responsible for it? It's the legislature. It's a leader. It's a Raja. It's a Nayaka. Now, let the law established by you be in such a way that a person gets the right reward or punishment in accordance with what they have done. Yes, Chakara, Tamijahi. That's all. Very simple instruction. But I cannot understand it exclusively, taking this sentence separately, but it has to be done in harmony with so many other Veda mantras speak about this. Yes, Chakara, Tamijahi. It's very simple. Whatever is done according to it, give the reward or the punishment. I make it very clear, punishment is real education. Punishment is not inflicting pain. Punishment is not just danda. Punishment is educating and making that person realize what is true, what is not true, what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad. So once we make that person realize it, yes, our job is done. Throughout his life, that person will never commit a mistake again. If a person repeatedly commits a mistake, yes, something is wrong with our law. Something is wrong with our education. Something is wrong with our punishment. Knowingly or unknowingly, if a person has committed wrong, if the person has committed a crime, there should be last one. There should be last one. The punishment or the term they serve in the jail or the prison should be in such a way that they should never repeat that crime. Not only that crime, they should never be criminals in future. They can never be culprits in future. A transformation should come. So it's an appeal. It's an appeal to the leader. It's an appeal to the legislature. It's an appeal to the king, saying that let the law, what we establish, give us this result. That is, give the reward or punishment which matches the crime or mistake they have done. Let it match. And what is the final result? A transformation. They become useful citizens of the world. They become responsible citizens of the world. So that you have to do. When it comes to the question of Satchidananda, it's already there in place. I may escape from the eyes of the man-made law. I may. It's possible. By hook or crook, by paying bribe or something, or by running away, by escaping, fine. It's possible. But how can I escape the hand of law created by the Satchidananda? Never. I may escape in this life, but in the coming life I have to suffer. My fruits, rewards or punishments, they are ensured because the law established by the Satchidananda is flawless. Nakil bishamatra. And whatever I have done, it is very well preserved. Anunam patram nihitam na. So there is a vessel, it's just a figure of speech. There is a vessel which always records what all I have done, good or bad. And this is also anunam. There is no flaw here also in this recording. It's there. And finally, what happens? In that vessel, all what I have done, good or bad, it all get in and it will result in a porridge. It will result in something cooked. And whatever I have cooked, I have to eat. Whatever I have cooked will come in search of me and ultimately make me eat it. It will not leave me. Etat paktaram pakvaha punaravishati. This is a law made by Satchidananda. It is flawless. It will work 100% perfectly. I can never escape from it. That's there. That's in place. But when it comes to the law established by we human beings, we Satchits, we should take care and say that yes, chakara tamijjahi. So please note, follow that law, and in the light of that law, you also establish laws which is as perfect as possible, and everyone gets a reward or punishment in accordance with what they have done. Let it be impartial. So this is the guidance given to a leader, a king, a legislature. Yes, chakara tamijjahi. So it says tamijjahi, it involves both reward and punishment. A person who has done good has to be rewarded. A person who has done bad has to be punished. But the punishment, I repeat once again, is not just putting them behind bars, is not just giving them some torture. It is to educate them, and never they should repeat such crimes. Yaschakara tamijjahi. So the supporting thing for what I'm explaining, I've given it in Nakilbisha mantra, I've given it in Utadeva Avahitam Deva. There are such mantras. I will take them together. So that's about the meaning of this very simple piece of the Veda mantra. Yaschakara tamijjahi. It appears so simple, but when you go deep into it, yes, it unfolds itself and gives us a lot of inputs and insights into how we have to look at the world, we have to look at a culprit, we have to look at the law system. The basic principle of law is very much clear here. It is justice. That is to match the crime with the punishment. Yes, chakara tamijjahi. That is the very, very basic principle of any law, any constitution, any rules, anywhere, at any time, with reference to any people. And please note, this is in place with reference to the law established by Satchidananda. But it is not as perfect as that when it's made by human beings. But it shall be our endeavor to see that it also becomes as perfect as that. And where is that motivating factor? Where is that guiding principle? That's here. Yes, chakara tamijjahi. Over. Thank you for the day.